welcome to my channel, Cinder Allie Loves Disney. If it's your first time stopping by, hi, my name is Allie. Well, welcome to the first of a series of videos that I'm going to be doing. This is called Cinder Allie's Collector Talk, and I'm going to be sharing once a month some items from my collection. And what I'm going to do is, you might see them in the background, so they might be switching out as I'm going to be talking about things in each episode. My plan is to do this once every month, and I missed January, but the first episode should be going up on the last Saturday of February, and then the last Saturday of every month going forward. So you want to make sure that you have your notification bells on so you don't miss when I post an episode. So this first one, what I thought I would do is I'm going to share some of my oldest items. And what I mean by oldest is they're either going to be the oldest as in they were made a long time ago, and as far as date old, and the oldest is in the first items that I had picked up or that kind of started my collection. So that's what I thought I would start off with today. I did try to look up some history on some of the items, and it was a little bit difficult to find on some of them, but I was able to gather some info on a couple different pieces. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first item I'm going to share is a very old piece, and in doing the research for this, I couldn't find an exact date. I found some things that said it was actually made in the year 1960, and others said it was 1963. So I'm not 100% sure when this figurine was made, but I found this in an antique store, and originally this piece here came with a watch of Cinderella. Now, the piece that I picked up, it did not have the watch. I actually got this for just a couple dollars, and then came home and decided to research and look it up, and then found out how old it really is. It's really an old piece. So this is literally, to date, the oldest piece in my collection. The next piece I found is actually the fairy godmother, and I didn't notice it until I went and looked it up, and she's actually missing the wand that should be sticking out of her hand here. There's a little broken spot on there, but again, I only picked this up for a couple dollars. But in doing the research, I did find out that this is a vintage piece, and it was originally made in Japan, so I was able to find that out too. It even has the Japan stamp on the bottom of the figurine. Now, I've shared this once before in a prior video, but this is the very first Cinderella pin that I ever picked up at the parks, and this is the very first one that started the whole collection of pins for me. So it's very old, and I did pick it up at Disneyland. And that is her right there with that pretty flared dress, and kind of looks like a ballerina pose almost, but she's spinning around and the dress is kind of flaring. So these next two pieces, I actually had no idea that they were a set. I purchased them completely in different stores, in different months. I didn't get them together at all. And then in doing the research for this, I wasn't able to find out, let's see, I was able to find out a year, but not anything other than that. These are both pieces also from Japan. Again, I didn't realize that either. And they're between 1960 and 1970 as far as the years they were made. And this is actually stamped Disney Japan, and this is pretty cool because it has the prince kneeling down, and he has the slipper in his hand, and he is kneeling down for Cinderella to try on the slipper. And it actually goes with a piece of Cinderella. It's a little bit bigger, which I was kind of surprised. She's much bigger than his stature. Also has the Walt Disney Japan stamp on the bottom. But here she is, kind of standing here and almost lifting up the bottom of her dress to get ready to try on the slipper. Okay, this next piece is actually the very first Cinderella collectible that my husband ever gifted to me, and it's one of the, aside from the pin, it's like the first thing I ever owned of Cinderella. And it is a music box, and unfortunately it doesn't work anymore, but it's got some beautiful detail on it with Cinderella written here on the side. And she normally would be spinning when the song plays. This whole thing would spin around, and you've got the pumpkin on one side with one of the mice, and then you've got Jack and Gus kind of dancing, and then as it spins around and plays the music, she spins and they all spin, and it's so cute. but this is actually Cinderella's dance. It's called Dreams Come True is the song that it normally plays, and it's called an heirloom music box collection. So I really wish the music box part worked. I don't know how it stopped working, unfortunately, but it is still really, really pretty. It's just beautiful, looks brand new, aside from the fact that it doesn't spin or play the song anymore. And the final piece I'm going to share with you is actually a first as well. This is my very first Jim Shore piece. This was gifted to me from my husband, and it is just gorgeous. It is the fairy godmother, and she has her wand right here. She's got this beautiful design of Cinderella spinning in the front here. And this is actually called Magical Transformation, and it was made in the year 2006, and I'm pretty sure that's around the year that I received this as well. But it is just a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. From the stars detailed here on the back of her coat, and just the intricate pieces. I'm always so worried about breaking this, just her little fingers that stick out here, the wand that's sticking up, her dress, everything, her little face. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So I've had this a very long time, and I keep all of these items in a glass curio cabinet so that nothing happens to them. They're kept safe there. The only thing that usually does happen is they tend to get a little bit dusty sometimes, but I try to dust them off and keep them clean. So I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the first items that I've received in my collection, or that are old, dated in the collection. So there will be many more of these videos to come until I've pretty much shown you all of my collection. So stick around for that. If you haven't already done so, please do consider hitting the subscribe button and sticking around. Make sure, as I mentioned before, to put your notification bells on so you don't miss when I post a video. So thank you again for watching, and as always, make it a Disney day.